Hey Biscuits, you know that I love talking about self-care. It is probably the biggest and most powerful force that I have used in my life to really find a balance of happiness and of joy. It's so powerful. What is my hair doing? It's like this side's kind of curly. I don't know what's going on. I took it out of a bun a moment ago and it's decided to go crazy. But self-care is so powerful to focus on. Oh my goodness. It changes your whole perception of life and your whole life materially. It's amazing how powerful it is. So if you want to go from just mundane and miserable to really deeply successful in your happiness and in your life, self-care is so powerful. I want to share some of the most big and powerful ways, even if they're small actions, that self-care really does fundamentally change how successful you are. So probably my number one concept in self-care is, if my cup is empty, I have nothing to pour. I have nothing to give anybody in my family life, my personal life, my work life, my creative life, nothing. So I want to fill up my cup, so to speak, right? I want to have enough nurturing and care and tending to in my day-to-day existence that it's just a part of it. I don't even have to think about that. I feel nurtured and tended to with my self-care. So my cup is overflowing with gifts and bounty to share and to give and to inspire with, right? That is so powerful, and it's so beautiful when we meet that connection, right? I love that. So this is something I've started doing. And my sister and her husband have been staying with me for several months now, which is lovely to have them. They moved back from overseas, and I was like, you know what? Why don't you stay in one of the kids' rooms and we'll all have family time together, because we haven't seen them in like 5 years. It's been a crazy amount of time. And I have gotten my sister in on this. I haven't managed to wrangle my brother-in-law into doing this, but eventually he will want to join in our self-care. Is we take the weekends for self-care. So normally I'll do Sunday. So Sunday I do self-care around the home. I sit and fold laundry. I do a tidy up. You know, I'll help get the kids to help me pick up toys and stuff. We'll get a vacuum, clean it all up. And then we get to sit and we get to all watch a movie together. Sometimes I'll let Abraham pick it out. Sometimes my sister will pick out a movie. And we do sheet masks. My little 2-year-old likes to try the sheet mask, then freak out and be like, I know, but she always wants to try one. So we'll do sheet masks, or I have like this watermelon facial mask overnight thing that we just put on for a little bit, and then we smell like a funny like watermelon candy. It's pretty hysterical. I've got all these little massage toys. In fact, if you follow along on Patreon, I always demo all these new gadgets and tools that I try. I've got this hand glove thing that's a massager. I've got like a scalp massager that is delightful. I love that scalp massaging. So you can follow along on Patreon if you want to see all the demos of all of my self-care techniques for the weekend. And we just take one day at the weekend, and it's not literally the whole day, but we do a big chunk of the day that's focused on self-care. It's filling up our physical self-care cup of our bodies are feeling good, we're moisturized, we're exfoliated, we're relaxed, our nervous system is calming. And part of allowing that nervous system to just take a breath and relax is making sure the house is tidy, right? And not like uber clean. I'm just not an uber tidy person. I mean, creative chaos is probably what I live in, but I try to moderate that with organizing and cleaning several times a week, where I really am not letting my house get too chaotic, because it does affect my mental well-being when my house is too messy. So taking that weekend self-care and looking at it as more than just doing a bubble bath, right? You're doing physical self-care, you're doing home self-care. I like doing self-care with family. I think it's so much fun. You know, I get the kids involved. Sometimes Abraham wants one of the like little scalp massages on his head, or sometimes he'll let us like put a little lotion on his nose or something. He's not super into physical self-care. My daughter loves it, and my sister greatly enjoys it. She's like, we have like all this self-care stuff, you know. I was like, this is my specialty, fine sister. So that's a wonderful way to fill up your cup with abundance, so that again, it is just an overflowing cup of self-care leading to more success in your life, right? When you are tended to and taken care of, suddenly other aspects in your life are easier to tend and take care of, to focus on, to give creativity, ingenuity to, right? And to create that success, that abundance that you're looking for. It's very hard to create abundance when you are so burnt out and fried that every wire in your body is just on high alert, right? Very hard to call on that abundant energy. During the week, when I'm trying to call in that abundant vibe, that wonderful success of happiness, I have learned the importance of having an evening routine. And my kids are wild, feral house gargoyles who do not believe in a quiet, settled, calming bedtime. So I say this with not like, yes, the 12 nannies take care of my children while my 3 serfs massage my feet and let me have a bedtime routine. I mean real practical self-care routines for the evening time that you can actually do with your kids hanging off your leg and one of them trying to stab you with a toothbrush because you didn't put enough toothpaste on. So I like to have a little evening routine, right? I start turning off the lights about 45 minutes before bed. Not all of them, but the lights are going way lower level in the house. And then, I get the kids, we all brush our teeth together, and while they are fighting over flosser sticks, I put on some nice night lotion. Sometimes I use some of my crystal face rollers and massagers, just a little bit, it's like less than 5 minutes, right? Just getting that all done. Sometimes I'll braid my hair before bed. Include the whole family in that as we kind of tone the energy down, because right when you have young kids, you really have to work on bringing the energy level down at bedtime because they go wild and feral. And then, I'll sprinkle a little bit of lavender oil on a pillow, and I will slowly get everybody ready to bed because I got to get them all down to sleep. And then I give myself time, once the kids are asleep, time to kind of listen to a podcast. If I'm going to scroll Instagram and look at cozy videos or something that are calming to me before bed after the kids are asleep, I always wear my blue light glasses. So I have blue light glasses, and you need to make sure they're actually blue light glasses. Some of the cheap ones you can buy that aren't prescription don't actually block blue light, because I've tried those, they don't work. So that I'm not stimulating my brain with blue light. And I'm not one of those people that's like, you can't look at your phone before bed, because that's just not realistic. But I have started going back to reading physical books more before bed, which has been really wonderful. But a lot of time, if I'm being honest, my bed routine after the kids are asleep and I've done my physical self-care, it's just, watching something on Instagram. I might listen to a podcast and just kind of be calm and have that space where then I wake up rested. And you know how much easier it is to live an abundant mindset lifestyle when you are rested, when you are exhausted and depleted. It is so hard to manifest that abundance in your life. It is so exhausting. Every single bit of progress you make just feels like slogging through mud. So when you can have a wonderful form of self-care that's an evening routine, it's a practical evening routine that you can actually do, it's so much more powerful for manifesting that successful energy in your life. When I feel really poorly and crud about myself, about what I'm doing in life, any of those things, I am not in tune with creative energy, right? I am not creating good things. I'm not manifesting powerful things in my life because I just feel like crud about what I'm doing. So I have kind of a couple tiers of how I use self-care for that. And one is I've got to do something creatively fulfilling every week. It doesn't have to be a mega successful thing, but something creative. It could be a hobby. It could be some creative artwork that I'm making. It could be creative baking. Something that is making me feel positive physically about what I'm creating and putting out in the universe, right? Because the energy we put out, it's coming back so many fold, right? And you can look at energy as manifesting or as thought or power of intention, however you want to view that. It really is powerful to be in that good mindset, to use self-care. So for me, creativity is self-care, and that might not be true for everybody, but if you are a creative spirit, I find it really important to feed and nurture that with your self-care. I think that's true as well for your body. If I just feel yucky in my body, if I'm not feeling good about how my body's health is or the physicality of my body, it's really important for me to not look at my body as like a size or a look or a commodity, right? I'm looking at myself to sense, do I feel healthy? Do I feel energetic? Do I feel good about that, right? Because, I've disliked my body at low weights and loved myself at high weights and vice versa, right? Go back and forth. It's really about letting self-care change our mindset so that we feel good in our skin, so that we feel comfortable. When we're going around today, we feel great. We feel powerful. We are bringing that energy in. We are manifesting that concept, that success, that joy. That abundance just flows naturally through our life. We don't have to tug it towards us. It just is a part of our life when we use self-care to feel good about, our physical form, our mental well-being, when we are sharing that abundance, it is powerful, it's gorgeous. And I love that about the ability to manifest successful abundance, is finding self-care is this powerful tool in our lives. Okay, biscuits, I'm going to pop over to Patreon to say hi to all those fabulous biscuits on there. Come on and join, and come say hi to our wonderful Patreon community.